Welcome back to Inside the Mind. I'm Sam here with Sid, and today we're walking into one of the most misunderstood corners of the human psyche, antisocial personality disorder.
Not at all. Antisocial doesn't mean shy or introverted. It means against social norms. Antisocial Personality Disorder, ASPD, is defined by a consistent pattern of disregard for others' rights, lack of remorse, deceitfulness, and impulsivity.
People often hear antisocial and think someone who hates people. But Sid, that's not what this means, right?
But beneath those traits lies a deep struggle with connection, empathy, and fear of vulnerability.
So not every person with antisocial traits is a criminal or violent?
Exactly. That's one of the biggest myths. Some people with ASPD live very functional lives. They're CEOs, leaders, entrepreneurs, operating within rules, but still lacking empathy or moral grounding. Others fall on the darker side, manipulative, reckless, or even cruel. It's a spectrum, not a single mold.
What causes someone to become like that?
It's almost always a perfect storm of genetic predisposition, childhood environment, and early behavioral patterns. Genetics. Some are born with a temperament that leans toward impulsivity or low-fear response, childhood neglect or abuse. Many faced environments where love and fear were confused. Survival demanded dominance. Early conduct disorder. Before 15, they may have lied, stolen, or shown aggression not just as rebellion, but as adaptation to chaos. When you combine that with no emotional regulation or secure attachment, empathy never fully develops.
So it's not that they choose to lack empathy, they never learned it?
Right. Empathy is taught modeled. If a child grows up in violence or neglect, their brain learns survival, not compassion. One study showed that people with ASPD have reduced activity in the amygdala and prefrontal cortex, the parts of the brain that process fear and moral decision-making. So their nervous system literally responds differently to consequences.
That explains why they can do something extreme and feel nothing about it.
Exactly. That nothing inside isn't confidence, it's emptiness. It's a nervous system tuned to survive danger, not connection. But here's the catch, that lack of fear or guilt can make them charming. They can read others, mimic emotions, and say exactly what someone wants to hear, not because they feel it, but because it works.
So they learn to perform empathy.
Yes, and that's why people often confuse charisma for conscience. Someone with ASPD might be the most confident person in the room, smooth talker, quick decision maker, but beneath that, there's manipulation and control. It's like emotional chess, every move calculated for advantage.
What would a relationship with someone like that look like?
It usually follows a pattern, charm and thrill at the start. They know how to make you feel seen and alive, gradual control. They test boundaries, small lies, emotional withdrawal, gaslighting, exploitation. Once they know what you'll tolerate, they take what they want: time, money, trust, validation without guilt. They may discard you abruptly when you no longer serve their narrative.
So it's about power.
Yes, control equals safety. Many people with ASPD have an unconscious belief: if I control first, I can't be hurt. It's armor disguised as dominance.
Can therapy help? I've heard ASPD is hard to treat.
It is difficult, mainly because genuine change requires self-reflection and empathy, which are exactly what's impaired. But not impossible. Here's what works: motivation through accountability. If someone with ASPD wants to change, often due to legal, relational, or personal crisis, therapy can start. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, helps them recognize distorted thinking patterns like entitlement or rationalizing harm. Schema therapy or mentalization-based therapy, MBT. These dig deeper, helping them understand emotions, learn empathy through awareness, and regulate impulses. Medication not for the personality disorder itself, but to manage aggression, impulsivity, or coexisting depression divided by anxiety. Progress is slow, think years. Not months, but some do learn emotional control and social responsibility.
So empathy can be learned, at least partially?
Yes, through practice and awareness, not as spontaneous emotion, but as conscious choice. They may never feel empathy like others do, but they can understand it intellectually and act accordingly. That's where real progress lies.
What about people who've been hurt by someone with ASPD? What should they keep in mind?
A few key things. Don't try to outplay them emotionally. You'll lose. Stay factual, calm, and boundaried. No contact or limited contact if manipulation is severe. Seek therapy for yourself. Recovery from emotional exploitation is deep work. Don't personalize their actions. Their behavior comes from disconnection, not your worth. And most importantly, remember, understanding doesn't mean excusing.
That's crucial. It's easy to romanticize the dark personality, especially in movies.
Exactly. Pop culture paints the antisocial archetype as powerful and free, but the truth is, it's often lonely. Behind the manipulation is emptiness. Behind the confidence is fear of being powerless again. It's tragic in its own way, a life built around control, yet ruled by fear of vulnerability.
That's a heavy mirror to hold.
It is, but talking about it helps. Because empathy for understanding, not for excuse, is how we learn to recognize, protect, and sometimes help.
Beautifully said. So that's antisocial personality disorder, not just crime or coldness, but a complex web of survival and control.
Exactly. And as always, we're not experts, just explorers of the mind trying to turn complexity into clarity.